You will now hear the back and forth, what the officer says, what she says back. And right here tonight, the woman's phone call from jail before she was found dead. Also tonight, we fly you right over the massive fire outside New York City. Along a very busy corridor, more than 100 neighbors evacuated at this hour. The extreme weather tonight, the lightning strike igniting a fire.
Oh my God!
And just now, word of another strike at a popular beach, 3 victims. The emergency on a popular cruise ship tonight, passengers rushing to emergency exits in their life jackets. And watch the trolley out of control in one American city, the passengers screaming for the conductor to stop. Why he could not change course.
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. And we have 2 major new developments in the case of that mysterious death in a Texas jail cell. For the first time, you will hear from Sandra Bland in her own words, the phone call she made from that jail asking for help before she was found dead. Also tonight here, the part of the dash cam video the public had not seen of that traffic stop until now. Tonight you will see and hear the escalation as it unfolds, what the officer ordered her to do, how she responded. Her family late today saying they are appalled by what they saw. ABC's Ryan Smith leading us off.
From the local sheriff tonight, an explosive admission. On the day Sandra Bland was put in this cell, she actually told her jailers she had previously attempted suicide, leading to new questions about whether she was watched closely enough. Also tonight, the phone call. And on Saturday, one of her friends received this message, the voice believed to be Sandra Bland's.
I'm still just at a loss for words, honestly, about this whole process. How this switching lanes with no signal turned into all of this.
That call, obtained by our Houston station KTRK, came just hours after Bland went before a judge. Her bail set at $5,000. She was trying to raise that money. Tonight, this police dash cam video of her arrest raising new questions about how a simple traffic stop could go so wrong. Trooper Brian Encinia approaches her car.
I'm told the reason for your stop is you failed to signal the lane change.
The interaction quickly growing tense.
Oh, you seem very irritated.
I am. I really am.
He asks her to put out her cigarette.
You mind putting out your cigarette, please? Don't mind.
I'm in my car, but I have to put out my cigarette.
And when she refuses,
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
the situation escalates.
Step out or I will remove you. I'm giving you a lawful order. Get out of the car now or I'm going to remove you.
And I'm calling my
I'm going to yank you out of here.
Okay, you're going to yank me out of my car?
Get out.
Okay, all right.
25.
Let's do this.
Then, moments later, the officer points his stun gun at her.
I'm giving you a lawful order. I'm going to drag you out of here.
So you threatening to drag me out of my own car?
Get out of the car!
And then
I will light you up. Get out!
Wow.
Now!
Wow.
Former NYPD detective Nicholas Casal tells us the trooper crossed the line.
So for you, seems like he's escalating this situation.
It appears that he's starting now to climb the mountain of escalation in this situation.
And Bland's family appalled at what they saw on that tape.
I simply feel like the officer was picking on her. Point blank, period.
And Ryan is with us now. This notion that she had attempted suicide before, the family reacting to that as well tonight?
That's right. Her family lawyer says that they have no evidence of that. And again, at the time of her arrest, she had just gotten her new job. Her family says that doesn't sound like someone who would take their own life, David.
All right, Ryan Smith with us here tonight. Ryan, thank you. We're going to turn now to a developing headline tonight, and these live pictures coming in at this hour. What's left of a massive warehouse fire still smoldering near a major artery right here in the Northeast, outside New York City, in fact. After a 5-alarm fire, families displaced tonight, more than 100 people at a middle school shelter told it's not safe to go home yet. They are now testing the air quality, and ABC's Wjla Benitez is on the scene for us.
Tonight, 175 firefighters tackling a stubborn blaze. Thick black smoke billowing into the air.
So we got heavy fires, we got heavy smoke.
It started in the middle of the night, 2:30 a.m. at a car repair shop. Spreading so far, it's destroyed 8 businesses, a warehouse as big as 50 football fields. The fire has now sent more than 100 residents to a shelter. And watch, it's so close to a train track, you can see a New Jersey Transit train moving right next to that fire.
The whole thing is on fire. Tires are blowing up. There's batteries on forklifts inside. There's some LP gas on forklifts that were inside the building, and they've all been exploding at different times.
The smoke visible for miles. Environmental protection officials on the scene worried about the air quality.
This fire is about the smoke more than anything else. The chemicals associated with this type of fire, which is a plastic fire, are largely volatilizing up and mostly out of harm's way.
And back out here live in New Jersey, just take a look behind me. There is still so much smoke. Now, the good news, officials say they haven't been able to find any toxins in the air, but those evacuated residents, they won't be going home tonight, David.
As a precaution, all right, Gio Benitez live for us. Gio, thank you. We're going to turn now to the extreme weather across the country and a breaking headline out of Florida at this hour, a dangerous lightning strike in Miami Beach. 3 people injured, 1 critically. And this video tonight out of Neptune, Florida, near Jacksonville, the lightning there igniting a fire. Much further north tonight, storms ripping a house right off of its foundation in Mooresboro, North Carolina. And across the country, at the entrance to Yosemite National Park tonight, look at this. Tourists narrating their own video, flash floods and mudslides, trapping cars, shutting down Highway 140. What a mess. Let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking the severe weather tonight. Hey, Rob.
Hey, David, you mentioned the lightning in Miami. Storms still firing across Florida, especially the northern part of the state. Tallahassee, we got a couple that have gone severe. North Georgia, also some strong storms. A lot of heat and humidity fueling these. A steamy night across the Gulf Coast, and that's going to carry over tomorrow. Going to feel like 100+ in New Orleans, 105 in Dallas, 105 in Oklahoma City. More rain over the next few days. Memphis, Orlando could see 2 to 3 inches of it. In the Mountain West, we'll see some rain stream in here, but it's not quite getting to the fires in western Montana. Dry, breezy conditions there. Red flag warnings posted, David.
All right, Rob Marciano with us. Rob, thanks as always. And I mentioned Yosemite just a moment ago. Another national park also in the headlines tonight. Dramatic images out of Glacier National Park in Montana. A wildfire exploding in size. Campers evacuated. Rangers searching the backcountry for hikers at this hour. More than 2,000 acres now burning. Strong winds and dry conditions fueling the blaze. We'll stay on it. In the meantime, we turn to a scare tonight for passengers on board a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. A giant plume of smoke, a fire breaking out as it approached Jamaica. Those passengers in life jackets crowded on the deck. And ABC's Candace Gibson with the latest.
The frightening scene.
Oh my God.
As Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas pulls into port in Jamaica.
Ship's on fire.
Fire in the ship's mechanical area, sending a plume of thick black smoke spewing from the top of the 18-story vessel. Sirens wailing on board, crew members going door to door to alert passengers.
We saw a lot of black smoke with debris in it.
The 4,000+ passengers frantically grab life jackets and head to emergency evacuation stations as crews quickly put out the fire. Royal Caribbean tweeting, all guests and crew members are safe and accounted for, and 1 crew member was treated for a first-degree burn. The cause of that fire tonight is still under investigation, but Royal Caribbean says the ship is still safe to continue its week-long Caribbean cruise and will be back here in Florida on Sunday. David?
Candace, thank you. We have new reporting tonight after those Marines and a sailor were shot and killed in Chattanooga. The suspected gunman, the one-time star athlete raised in Tennessee, and of course, the victims. 5 lives cut short, and tonight a citizen army standing guard outside recruiting centers in Alabama and Texas. As we learned something here we never knew, what those American servicemen did that saved so many other lives that day. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross tonight.
The attack was described today as 3 to 5 minutes of both terror and of heroism. After first shooting up the recruitment center 7 miles away, Mohammed Abdulaziz raced to his second target, the Naval Operational Support Center. Going so fast, he missed the turnoff.
He then did a 360. Then I see the police officer behind him, and the police officer also did a 360.
According to new details today from the FBI, Abdulaziz then crashed his convertible Mustang through the Navy facility's front gate. From there, the shooter headed to the facility's headquarters with an assault rifle.
A service member from inside the facility observed him and opened fire on him.
A counterterrorism official confirms to ABC News it was Lieutenant Commander Timothy White, the center's senior officer, who fired on the shooter.
The shooter then responded by shooting into the building.
Undeterred, Abdulaziz entered the building's front door and shot the first person he saw. Navy Petty Officer Randall Smith died of his wounds a few days later. From there, the shooter went out the back of the building and headed to the motor pool, where he shot and killed 4 unarmed Marines. But that didn't stop other Marines from racing to the scene, distracting the shooter and saving lives. The gunman was finally stopped by another set of heroes, Chattanooga police officers, including one who was wounded. They stopped him before he could kill any more, David.
Incredible. They saved so many lives that day. Brian, thank you. We have new information after that other national tragedy, the massacre at a Bible study in Charleston. The suspected gunman, Dylan Roof, now facing federal hate crime charges tonight, making him eligible for the death penalty. A federal grand jury finding proof that he was motivated by racial hatred and purposely chose Mother Emanuel Church, quote, in order to make his attack more notorious. Now to a developing story, the urgent new danger in the skies and an arrest in Dallas tonight after 9 aircraft in one night reported lasers lighting up their cockpits as they tried to land. Here in New York City, 6 cases in just the last 24 hours. Last week, 12 more cases. So tonight, the FAA and law enforcement now investigating, trying to catch the perpetrators before passengers are put at risk. Here's ABC's David Curley.
It's the nation's busiest airspace.
We just got lasered from our about a 10 o'clock position.
Dangerously lit up again. 6 strikes near New York area airports. Some of the jets at 3,000 feet, where many aircraft are hit. But last night, 3 hit much higher, at 7,000 feet. And one source tells us aircraft have been hit at altitude, 35,000 feet. The approaches into New York's airport, in fact, most commercial airports in this country, are over neighborhoods at just a few thousand feet. So here on the ground, it's very easy for someone to use one of those new powerful lasers and shine it up at a jetliner, blasting the cockpit with light. A record pace this year, averaging 15 strikes a night, 9 in Dallas alone last night. But there, an arrest, a 23-year-old suspect facing prison.
Since the criminalization in 2012, we've actually seen an increase, and that trend is not good for the safety of the traveling public.
Even the light from one of these store-bought lasers can travel more than 4 miles, but it's the more powerful lasers that pilots are worried about could damage the retinas, which is why they're calling for stricter controls. David
Curley at LaGuardia Airport. David, thanks. Now to the race for 2016. Donald Trump. New fallout tonight after igniting a firestorm, first with his comments about John McCain, then revealing a rival's private cell phone number on national TV. Well, tonight, hear the question. Is Trump helping or hurting his fellow Republicans? And the new troubling numbers for Hillary Clinton. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
It's come to this. Lindsey Graham doing to his cell phone what many Republicans would like to do to the Trump campaign, after Trump gave out the senator's private cell phone number on national television.
I don't know if it's the right number. Let's try it. 202.
Trump is relishing his attacks on fellow Republicans.
See, Rick Perry, he put glasses on so people will think he's smart. I'm not a fan of Jeb Bush. Then I watch this idiot Lindsey Graham.
Republicans are now worried Trump is hurting their party.
Senator Graham.
We caught up with Lindsey Graham today on Capitol Hill.
At this point, he's not only the front runner, he's way ahead of all of you guys.
He's a car wreck and everybody's stopping to look. If we did pick him, it would be the end of the Republican Party.
Trump today released a 92-page financial disclosure that lists him as president or chairman of more than 400 companies, most of them named after himself. He's got the president's attention.
I'm sure the Republicans are enjoying Mr. Trump's current dominance of
anything that makes
their
them
primary.
anything that makes them look less crazy.
And John Karl with us now from the White House. Republicans worry that Donald Trump might be hurting them, but he doesn't seem to be helping Hillary Clinton. They've got some troubling numbers in some key battleground states tonight.
New polls out in the key states of Virginia, Iowa, and Colorado show that Hillary Clinton is losing in all 3 of them to Republicans Rubio, Walker, and Bush.
But the Clinton team telling you tonight that they're not worried about this?
They say, look, it's really early, and all of the attention right now has been on the Republicans, that she'll have plenty of time once the attention turns back to her.
All right, John Karl, always great to have you. We turn to your money tonight and an explosive new government report revealing a number that is simply astounding, and it's all your money. $60 billion in taxpayer dollars, Medicare payments sent out to addresses never checked. ABC's Jim Wjla tonight going straight to those addresses on the hunt for your money.
Our hunt to find how Medicare is losing billions of dollars brought us here, Chicago's South Side, and this odd location for a doctor's office.
You run the mailbox place?
Yes, we do.
Right next door to a porn shop, a mailbox store where Medicare has sent nearly $600,000 in payments. It's listed as Suite 308.